This is a bitch coming to me as a fucking moment. All my other niggas is just like, who the fuck is this? Walking around campus with. What the fuck do you mean? Oh fuck, I just said his name. Ah! You may think that I'm crazy. You should ask her about me. Put your trust in me, baby. Y'all like these jeans? I like these because it make my butt look fat and whatever. But hey, babes, welcome to my channel, or welcome. Actually, I like this angle. Okay, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. And I'm out at work all day already, and I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I don't know if I want to do like the simple look. I'm probably just gonna put mascara on. Honestly, it's not even funny how many story times I have. Like, my life has just been interesting. But okay, so yes, this story time is about a boy again. I'm so fucking sorry, but yes, the story time is about a boy. And how did I meet this boy? I met this boy through mutual friends. So when I was down there in Albany, I was hanging out with a few bums. Not even gonna lie, like, they were bums. Like, none of them went to class. Me and my roommate would be the only ones that actually like learned something. Everybody else was just down there, like just down there. And it was just, yeah, they would come to my house like every morning. We would like, you know, smoke down there. That's another reason why I come here down there. All they did was come over to my house and smoke and everything, and they would leave. Like, it was nothing. It was nothing. Like, they were just my friends. They was really my friends back then. Like, them was my. But then I fought the other one, which that's actually another story saved for another day. And yes, I'm gonna tell that story time. And to this day, like, yeah, I fought one of his friends because I was trying to help him with his abusive girlfriend, but he turned around and started fighting me, which is another story for another day. Y'all are gonna hear that story, just not today. But yeah, so I met him through them. His name was Z. So Z will always like Z will always come down to Albany on occasions just to like, just cause. Like, I can't even remember why the fuck he would come down there. Like, I don't know why he was coming down there. I don't know what, like, I just don't fucking know. Like, I just don't know why he was down there. He would just always be down there. Like, every time I turn around, he was just down here. Like, what the fuck? He was just, yeah. So my friend, I remember, we're gonna call her Ari. My friend had just moved into her new apartment. That's the first day I met him. They was like, oh, our friend's coming down. And we was like, oh, like, what friend? Me and my roommate, we was like, what friend? Like, what friend you got coming down here? And then that's when the other two boys, we're gonna name them, I honestly real deal forgot their names. That's how irrelevant they are to me. But we're just gonna name them Tim number 1, Tim number 2. So Tim number 1 and 2, they like, oh, this is our friend Z, like, what's up? So they in the fucking kitchen. I remember this fucking clearly. They in the kitchen, we in her living room. We just chilling, talking. I think we was watching like Baddie South or some shit like that. We was watching something together because we would always like watch shows together. Like, that was me and my friends' things. We would watch things together. So we sitting there watching Baddie South. They in the kitchen trying to rap because they had this aspiring rap dream. Which, yeah, so they was in there rapping or whatever, and I was looking at him because I'm not gonna lie, Z wasn't ugly. He wasn't ugly. He was younger than me, yes, but he wasn't ugly. He was like a year younger than me. So this was like he wasn't in college though. So this is like my sophomore year. If he would would have went to college. He would have been a freshman in college. So he was younger than me, and I was still looking at him. But mind y'all, like, I need y'all to remember, like, I had just got over a heartbreak. Like, if you haven't watched my story about the boy that gave my Christmas gift to his ex, that y'all can go watch that. But I had just got out of that situation, so I was really like, I was vulnerable as fuck. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Like, bitch, I was vulnerable as fuck. Like, honestly, tell me I'm pretty, and like, I was at the point where, like, they come up to me, tell me I'm pretty, I might just fall to my knees. Like, I was that. Okay, let me not act like I was just thirsty. I wasn't, but but yeah, like, I'm going for like a natural look today because I really don't feel like. But yeah, so they was finna get ready to go to the cab or whatever. So before they had left, I'm sorry if I'm looking this way, my mirror's right here, but who the fuck is outside my window right now being so fucking loud? Yeah, so they was finna get ready to go to the cab. So I was like, before they left, I was like, hey, let me get your number or whatever. He was like, okay, bet. So yeah, gave me his number. We had started texting, you know, the whole, yeah, we started texting or whatever. So then, like, he had went back home for the weekend. So we was texting for like a week and a half, like, just going back and forth. We was calling each other. We was on FaceTime for like hours at a time, you know, just doing shit that people would have done when they first meet each other type shit. So we was doing all that. I ended up finding out one of his friends had told me, mind you, Tim 1 and Tim 2, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with them. Like, it's like they wanted me to be with him, but at the same time they wanted him to be with his girlfriend, which then they came to me after the fact, after I was, you know, they could have just told me before I even gave him my number. They didn't even say anything that he had any types of females or whatever. So then they end up telling me that he has a girlfriend. I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't y'all tell me this? Like, that's how I should have known. They didn't really fuck with me for real. But you know, I got a nice heart, and I just be doing shit. Like, I just be at that point in my life, I was just friends with anybody. I felt like I was being friends with just anybody, and like and just talking to anybody. Cause like, why the fuck was I even talking to this nigga? Like, this nigga didn't have anything. Like nothing. Like, nothing to his name, nothing at all. Like, just living. Like, if you ever met somebody that was just living, like, they have nothing going on for themselves, nothing, they don't know what the fuck, they just don't have shit going on. So nobody told me that this nigga just didn't have shit going on and no fucking place to stay. Like, nobody told me that. So yeah, he's telling me like, oh, he had a girlfriend or whatever. So I bring it to his attention. I'm like, so when you was gonna tell me that you had a girlfriend? And he's like, oh yeah, I have one, but we just not in, you know, we just not in a good space. We just not talking to each other for real. Like, I don't want her and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, bet. Cause you know, back then, like, I'm gonna be honest, when he first told me, my dumb ass did not give a fuck. Like, I was just like, okay, you know, you didn't tell me, that's cool. But he's like, we damn near like broken up. Me, okay, this is something that I've worked on. And I'm gonna be honest, like, back then, like, you couldn't tell me that any of my niggas was lying to me. Like, I just wasn't I just was believing him like a dumb bitch, you know? So I'm like, okay, like, as long as you're saying you're not with this girl, okay. Because we really used to be on FaceTime every day. But the thing is, Nyla, just because they be on FaceTime with you all day, every day, does not mean you the only bitch, okay? Because I wasn't the only bitch, okay? At all. I wasn't. There was like, it was me and another bitch, okay? So he's like, oh, but I'm coming to Albany this weekend. Like, we're gonna have a day and all this other stuff. Which he did. He came to Albany. We went on multiple days. We had picnics. Like, honestly, y'all, like, this man was literally my best friend. Like, all jokes aside, fuck the I'm gonna put a little bit of foundation, but fuck the extra shit. Like, this man was really like my best friend. Like, we would talk about anything, everything, like just be talking, you know what I'm saying? And when he had came back, and he would believe in me, like, you know, just everything that I wanted at the time, everything that I wanted and needed. So once he had told me that he's not with his girlfriend no more, I'm like, okay, bet, like, okay, I really didn't give a fuck about your girlfriend, but now that you're saying you're not with her, okay, cool. Which, I'm not gonna lie, when he did tell me he had a girlfriend, I knew, like, at that moment, I'm like, okay, bitch, you need to break up with her, because the fuck? What you mean? Like, what the fuck do you mean you have a girlfriend? Now you're talking to me. Bitch, what the fuck? So, even with that, bitch, either way, bitch, you was finna stop talking to that bitch anyways. But it's just the fact that you told me, like, that you stopped talking to this bitch and you didn't. You was still fucking with the bitch. That's what's getting me. So, he told me, oh, he come down, we have a good little time. He goes back to Atlanta. This time when he went back to Atlanta, it was like he was going ghost a lot. So I'm like, why do you keep going ghost on me? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? So in the back of my head, I'm like, bitch, he's still with that bitch. Like, he's still with that bitch. So I'm like, I don't know what you got going on. So I blocked him or whatever. And then we had stopped talking for a minute because I had blocked him. And he was calling me and texting me off no caller ID and all this other stuff. Because I'm not stupid. Like, you go back to Atlanta and you just stop texting me out of nowhere. Like, no, you're back with your bitch. Like, period. So he's like, he apologized or whatever and says he didn't mean to and all this other stuff. My dumb ass like, okay, if you say you didn't mean to, I guess so. Okay. So I'm like, okay, bet, like, you know, I'm finna come and fucking, he's like, I'm coming down there this weekend. So I'm like, okay, bet. But mind you, y'all, he did tell me that he was from Florida. He was like, from like Florida, like a town in the middle of nowhere. Like, he just wanted to be in Atlanta really bad, like, which is a red flag. If a nigga is not from Atlanta and he just wants to be there so bad, or just be somewhere else, he just wanted to be somewhere else. He just did not want to go back to his town in Florida, which was his hometown, which honestly I get, because like it was in the middle of nowhere, like nothing was out there, so he just did not want to go back there. So yeah, so he had came down, mind you, he came and stayed with me for like a week and a half. I was cooking for this man like every day. He bought me food. He would buy me food sometimes, but it just didn't compare to how much money I was spending. Like, I was babying this nigga. I wasn't letting him drive my car. That was another thing. Because he had a car. I thought he had a car. So I thought, at least this man got a car. You know what I'm saying? And he said when he was down there, he was staying with his friend, which was Tim A and B, and being with his cousin. So I'm thinking he's with his cousin, or he's with, you know, them or whatever when he goes down there, which was another lie. Okay, so yeah, so he's with me or whatever. We having a good little time. I'm walking around campus with this nigga. All my other niggas is just like, who the fuck is this you walking around campus with? I was really popping out with this man. Like, that was the dumb in me. Like, I was really popping out with. I had gave him, if you watch my other story time, and you know I had spent like $200 on that sweater, I gave him the sweatsuit. That I was gonna give to my ex for Christmas. I literally gave it to him like a dumb bitch. And I'm thinking he was really courting me though. Like, he was buying me stuff from Pink. He was buying me fucking candles. Like, I had an obsession with candles. Like, I literally just cleaned my drawer with old candles. Like, I literally love candles, and he knew that. So he would buy candles for me, and I would post about it and all this other stuff, right? I would post it. Okay, I would post it because I was happy. I was excited. Like, this is my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I finally have a nigga treating me right. I wanted everybody to see. What are you talking about? Everybody is gonna see this shit. So he had stayed down there for like 2 weeks. I kid you not. So he was staying with me for like 2 weeks, and then he's like, "Oh, I need to go back home or whatever." I'm like, okay. So he went back to Atlanta. He goes back to Atlanta, y'all, and then he go back to Atlanta. Then he fucking, I get a DM. No, I think I get a text message, and she's like, "Hey, like, is this Nyla?" I'm like, "Yes, this is her." And then she's like, "Oh, do you know someone named oh fuck, I just said his name. Do you know someone named Z?" I'm like, "Yeah, what about him?" And at that point, I already knew what was going on. When she had told me, like, "Do you know such and such?" I had already knew, like, okay, this is a bitch coming to me as a fucking woman type shit. Like, this is just not gonna be good. I'm like, "Yes, I know. So I know Z." And she was like, "Well, I just feel like he's using both of us for a place to stay. He's been coming to me. He's been coming to Atlanta, staying with me, and then he'll leave and go be with you in Albany. He don't got no place to stay." She said, "He's driving my car." That right there, that's what got me. Because, bitch, what do you mean he's driving your car? What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? Like, just thinking about it, it's going back. Like, me going back to this shit. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, he's really playing both of us like that, bitch. Like, are we idiots? Like, what the fuck? She's like, "Yes, he's been using my car to go down there." And then she said she got my number from his phone. Talking about she hacked his fucking iCloud. Like, bitch, you're a fucking technician. Like, bitch, how the fuck females are crazy. Like, that really made me feel like, okay, folks be calling me crazy, but I don't go to an extent. Like, if I found out you're cheating on me, it's because it came to me. You know what I'm saying? It always comes to me. I don't go looking for shit. That's one thing that I can say that I don't relate with, like, other females, because I'm not finna go and look for shit so I can get my fucking feelings hurt. But if that shit comes to me, it comes to me. I'm not finna go and look for the shit, period. Point blank, I'm not looking for the shit, period. So she's like, "Yeah, he's been driving my car down there. I seen on your story." And my thing is, I'm like, bitch, how the fuck? I don't know how to fuck this bitch. Well, probably because I was talking about my Instagram and our messages, and I was sending him pictures. You know how you send your man pictures, like, you about to post real quick, and you like, "Babe, this look good," whatever. It was on some shit like that. So I think she probably seen my Instagram and the messages and got my Instagram. The stuff he got you, like, I paid for that. I sent him money. So you mean to tell me, I was literally like, so you mean to tell me he's giving? And then I had dropped an ebook, y'all. This is another very important. I dropped an ebook, then Knowledge Recipes. Y'all should go get it. It's still out. Link in the description. I had dropped an ebook, and he had supported me and bought like 50 of them. Like, literally spent like $50 to $100. I don't know if it was like 50. Like, literally spent $50 on, like, my ebooks just to support me on some shit. So I'm like, she was like, "Yeah, and that's the money I gave him." to buy your ebooks and to buy your pink stuff, and he went and bought you all this stuff with my money, driving to see you with my car. Bruh, I just couldn't believe it. And she was like, yeah, I'm not trying to argue with you. She was very sweet, I can't say that. She really wasn't trying to argue with me. Like, this was really on some, I'm really coming to you as a woman because, like, he's playing the both of us type shit. She was really coming to me like that, and I ain't never had nobody come to me. Usually when bitches come to me, it's on some, I think you're a man, that's my nigga, da, 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 da. She wasn't even on that. Like, she was real calm and collected, you know. She was really just trying to figure it out, like, is he still coming down there to see you type shit? Because I guess they had already had an argument about me and was saying that, you know, he was basically saying that I wasn't nobody for real. Basically just trying to figure out, like, is her man cheating? Bitch, yes, he's playing the both of us. Yes, yes he is. So we quickly find out, like, he's just using a place to stay, like, with both of us. Like, he just wants to be with his friends down here in Albany, and then he actually wants to be down there in fucking Atlanta, because he's from this small town where, like, there's literally nothing. So he's using the both of us so he can actually have a fucking life. And we just started sending each other receipts. We just putting shit together, like, on some women empowerment shit. Like, we was top tier with that shit. Like, we was really like, fuck this nigga, blah, blah, blah. Like, we was really turning into friends. We was really trying to put this shit together. And we finally, like, she confronts him about it, I confront him about it. He's calling us both weird. He like, both of y'all weird for talking to each other. Y'all both trying to be friends. Like, what the fuck? Like, he was mad as fuck, y'all. He was mad as fuck. She kicked him out. I told him he can't come back to my fucking house. And that was just it. Like, you're not finna come back to my house. Then I'm finna because I'm not finna take care of you. Like, she was going the extra mile. That bitch was giving you allowance, nigga. You a grown ass man getting allowance from a bitch. Like, I done did some dumb shit before about a nigga, but I ain't never been in her position. I would never give no nigga money, like, consistently on some shit. So he ended up having to move back to Florida with his family. He was still calling me, like, trying to come visit me, like, so he could use both of us. Like, it was just a hot ass mess. Like, you really thought she was gonna use both of us? Like, that shit was crazy as fuck. But then, like, and then when I moved back here, he ended up texting me. When I moved back here, he ended up texting me like, oh, I'm trying to, because he ended up moving to Albany with his friends. Like, I guess they all got a place in Albany together because he couldn't use bitches no more. Okay, I'm gonna spread my face. I'll put some. But yeah, y'all, that was really the end of this story time. We both ended up never talking to the man again, and he ended up having to get his own shit. And honestly, that was a lot of women empowerment in that situation, because that was the first situation where a bitch didn't want to fight me about a nigga. She was really just wanting answers. And I'm glad I wasn't listening to him, because he was saying, like, don't text her back, like, leave her on red, like, I don't know what she's talking about. Like, he was basically trying to tell us both not to text each other, and we both crazy and all this other stuff. But honestly, it just showed me when two women come together, we can bring down an ain't shit ass nigga. Can I get an amen? Okay. But I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't just watch this video. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, join this pretty family. And yes, I post videos every week. I'll see y'all next week. Bye, babes.